So central bank money does not contain
other distributed ledger technologies for various purposes, including cross-border trading and settlement. I would like to hear from Thomas Moser, who belongs to the Swiss National Bank's wider governing board, why the central bank might be interested in issuing its own digital currency. Hello, Thomas.
Hello, Jade.
Can you tell me what is central bank digital currency and how far are you in creating your own CBDC?
So central banks today create two forms of money. One are banknotes and the other are bank accounts at the Swiss National Bank. But those bank accounts are only available for banks, basically, to make payments among themselves. Now, a CBDC would be a tokenized form of this money. If we tokenize banknotes available for everyone, that would be a so-called retail CBDC. If we tokenize the bank accounts available only for the banks, that would be a so-called wholesale CBDC. And we are currently clearly focusing on wholesale CBDC, and together with SDX, we intend to issue a wholesale CBDC towards the end of the year for a limited time. So that would be a pilot, but still it would be a live CBDC in a productive environment.
How can wholesale CBDCs and blockchain technology be useful for the Swiss National Bank?
So central bank money does not contain counterparty risk. That's very different from private money like commercial bank accounts or tokenized forms of private money like stablecoins. If we issue a wholesale CBDC, so that would be a type of money without counterparty risk, and if you use that for settlement, that would clearly lower risks, and that is important, especially for financial market infrastructure that is, for instance, systemically important for wholesale payments.
You mentioned SDX there. Now Switzerland has its own fully regulated digital exchange. However, activity has been quite low so far. Do you think a wholesale CBDC could change this?
So this is possible, but clearly not guaranteed. Currently, SDX uses its own privately issued stablecoin. If we were to issue a wholesale CBDC, that would reduce the risks in settlement and therefore also reduce the costs for the participating banks. So in that respect, it could be helpful.
Are there any other use cases for wholesale CBDC?
A lot of central banks are using wholesale CBDC pilots now to investigate whether cross-border payments could be made more efficient and less costly than they are currently. And we have also experimented with cross-border settlement in wholesale CBDC. Together with the Banque de France, we had a project called Jura, which was, I think, quite successful. And currently we have a very interesting project called Mariana, where we are not only testing the cross-border settlement, but also the foreign exchange. So we built for that specifically, together with the Banque de France again, and together with the Monetary Authority of Singapore, a decentralized exchange. And what is special about a decentralized exchange is that unlike a traditional exchange, where you have an order book where buyers and sellers are matched, in a decentralized exchange we have an algorithm managing a liquidity pool, and both the buyers and the sellers, they interact directly with the algorithm to do their foreign exchange. So this is something that has been invented in decentralized finance, and we are now applying it to traditional finance for exchanging wholesale CBDC.
So you're talking now about an open blockchain, about using DeFi protocols. Are you not concerned about the cyber risks?
So this is clearly a risk that we have to take very seriously. So we make sure that we, even if this decentralized exchange is built on a public blockchain, we make sure that we can control access to all the relevant parts of this exchange. And as you say, cyber risks for CBDC in general, I think, are a very serious risk that central banks will have to take a closer look at, and that's something we do in a project called Tourbillon. And there we are looking at